Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Vista, California. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to your day. Notice I have something new. I don't look so washed out anymore. I've got my beautiful new purple drape here because my blind broke and my drape finally arrived. I do need to trim it though because I've got about 2 feet that I'm kind of avoiding sitting on and I do have to let it sit for a bit so let all the creases fall out, but it's the type of material where it won't hold the creases, that they will fall out with the weight. So I'm not, and I got to get to my sewing machine, which is somewhere in my storage unit, so that I can hem my drapes. But what do you think of my new backdrop here? I like it. It's a great purple. But anyway, today is Thankful Thursday. Today is also the 3rd anniversary of my husband's passing. He passed at 4:05 on this day 3 years ago, and I am grateful. I am grateful for the experiences that I went through with him. I'm grateful for every moment that we had together. Today is all about being grateful and thankful and letting those people that you know close to you, that you love them, that you appreciate them. I was trying to think, some meaningful words I could impart on you today, and I was sort of like, I'm just going to let other people's words do the talking. So I did post a quote on my wall earlier, which is, if I can find it again real quick, because it's in this book here. Oh yeah, there are blessings hidden in every trial in life, but you have to be willing to open your heart to see them. This is so true. I have lived through so many blessings, and at the time when I was going through some tough times with Brad, tough times after when he passed, after he passed, the 3 years since he's passed, I look at every moment of it as a blessing. Every moment that I have experienced is a blessing. And I am very thankful for the experiences that I have had. I am truly grateful for the amount of time that I got to spend with Brad. We were together 21 years and married 19 of those years, almost 19 of those years. And I'm very grateful for every single moment that we had. He was such a blessing in my life, and his kids were such a blessing in my life, and now I've got grandkids, yay, who are a huge blessing as well. But I was trying. Zeffie was hilarious this morning. She knows something's up today. She's just not sure what. So this morning after my training call, she starts going like crazy nuts. Like I was trying to do the Facebook post that I put this morning honoring Brad, and she was just going nuts. She was coming up to me. She was whining like crazy and all of that. And then I suddenly realized that Brad's probably playing with her. He's just letting me know that he's nearby, and Zeffie was trying to provide me with comfort and laughter at the same time as I was writing this post. And I said to her, look, the sooner you let me finish this post, the sooner we can go for our walk. And she'll just get even more excited and whining and crying and everything else and doing her crazy antics just to keep me laughing. And so I would type a sentence, play with her for a little bit, type another sentence, play with her for a little bit. And that went on for it took me 20 minutes to write that post. So I'm grateful for my dog. My dog absolutely distracted me today. So for today, it's all about being thankful, whether it's in your mindset, in your business, and also for fun today too. But I have this really cool book. It's called Think Positive, Live Happy. It's one of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. It's got 101 stories about creating your best life. And there's this one in here, it's called My Gratitude Journal. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I'm going to give you it's only 3 pages, but I'm going to give you the quick synopsis of it anyway. But they put a saying at the beginning of each entry. The one that I read about opening the heart, these blessings hidden, that one was called Choosing Gratitude, and was about a woman who had lost her husband back in 2012. And she talked about that and finding the gratitude in everything. But the one that struck me the most, that one hit close to home because he also passed from cancer. Actually, no, he passed from a heart attack, but he did have cancer. The gratitude one hit me the most because it was sort of like, oh my gosh, that is what I've been doing. And basically this woman talks about all this stuff that she journals religiously every day, reads motivational books, sets these goals, doesn't achieve them. And I thought, man, she could almost be writing my story. There's books that she wants to write and get published. And I'm like reading this thing and I'm going, this sounds, I'm reading through this story that she had there. And she had a gratitude journal, and what did she say here? She says a month. Actually, I think I might read it to you. It's only 2.5 pages. Well, actually, it's only 2 and a bit pages. So it's called My Gratitude Journal. It is written by Anne Morrow. And she wrote, a month after purchasing my gratitude journal, I marched into the kitchen and threw it in the trash can. Writing in it every day felt like a silly addition to my already overwhelming to-do list. Besides, I had been keeping a normal journal for years. Why add another? A friend and mentor urged me to give it another shot. He said that writing down a few things to be thankful for was different from free writing. Funnily enough, I had that conversation with my accountability coach yesterday. For the next month, I found myself ending each day by staring at a blank page, racking my brain for 5 things to write down. Sadly, after collecting more dust than words, that journal suffered the same fate as the first. Years would pass before daily gratitudes became a regular practice for me. The value of a gratitude journal didn't resonate with me, but I did continue to write in an ordinary notebook. Jotting down thoughts and ideas was part of my daily ritual. It was a therapeutic way for me to decompress, a safe place where I could contemplate the day's events and let my dreams, fears, and failures spill onto the page. I totally get that. Along with journaling, consuming motivational material was a constant in my life. I bought dozens of personal development books and listened to countless podcasts. Oh, that sounds familiar. How many of you can resonate with that one? The overall message from each author was the same. Set ambitious goals, make a plan, envision what life will be like once the goal is realized. Work your tail off. I set goals, created vision boards, planned and worked tirelessly, but my marathon-sized ambitions never seemed to manifest. The more I focused on the finish line, the more my inner circle told me it would be impossible to cross it. So I gave up. Then I read a new book, set more goals, and start again. My health goals were accompanied by diet and exercise. I imagined myself at a lean size 6. I don't think I'll ever be a size 6, but I get their point. But when I looked in the mirror or stepped on the scale, I was discouraged. I pictured myself preparing meals in my newly remodeled kitchen, but doubted I'd ever have enough money to make it happen. I visualized authoring a book and seeing it on library shelves. Oh, I have lots of book ideas, and some of them are in process too. But every time a manuscript was rejected, I told myself writing was a waste of time. The coveted finish line had inched so far away it was barely visible. The read, practice, believe routine was exhausting and began to chip away at my self-confidence. Something was missing. What was I doing wrong? Recently, while organizing a cabinet, the answer came to me. I came across the collection of journals I had accumulated over the years. I have boxes. They're in boxes. Mine are in boxes. On a whim, I decided to flip through them. And I'll tell you, that's a scary thing to do at times. As I read, I realized these tattered notebooks were a roadmap of my past, a detailed narrative of my journey. Miles of blue ink flowed into hundreds of entries where I confessed my fears and captured fresh ideas. I wrote about new experiences and chronicled the events of everyday life. Each page turn led me closer to the person I am today. The more I read, the more I realized I was witnessing a transformation. Somewhere in those pages, I found the courage to pursue my dreams. I learned lessons, developed new skills, and survived heartbreak with renewed strength. These daily scribbles were proof that I had been making progress all along, but had been so focused on the future, I was unable to live in the moment. How many times have we done that? How many times do we still do that? I hadn't been celebrating the little wins because I didn't recognize them. And that whole thing about finding the journals and not realizing how far you have come, that resonates so much with me about how, we're not recognizing the little wins. That's why I have the Winning Wednesday, to recognize those wins as we get them. What have I done this week? What have I accomplished this week? That sort of thing. My decision to dip back into the stack of old journals taught me more than any self-help book ever has. Lesson there. Looking ahead to see how far I have to go can make the finish line seem unreachable, but enjoying the process and looking back to see how far I've come makes every small success feel more like victory. I still can't get into a pair of size 6 jeans, but I'm stronger, happier, and fitter than I have ever been. The old kitchen underwent a complete makeover. However, the new windows, fresh paint, updated appliances, and modern flooring all came at different stages over the course of 6 years. Although my book isn't published yet, I've rediscovered a love for the craft, and allowing myself to get lost in the practice of creating something new every day has given me a restored sense of purpose. Taking time to celebrate when my byline appears in a publication boosts my confidence and empowers me to keep writing. Maybe that's what I need to do. The gratitude journal found its way back into my life. This simple ritual that failed me in the past finally makes sense. but I prefer to call it a gratitude journal. Gratitude journal. At day's end, it's where I reflect on what went right and acknowledge the little wins. It reminds me to give myself credit and slow down long enough to honor the process and recognize the progress. And if I see or experience something that makes me smile, I write that down too. Whether it's an essay on its way to an editor or a long walk with my dog, I'm learning nothing is too small to be celebrated. I still believe I can have it all, but I'm wise enough to know I can't have it all at once. And that was written by Anne Murrow, and that's from the book Think Positive, Live Happy. And that chapter just resonated with me so much about the gratitude journals and stuff, because I journal a lot. There's days will go by when I don't journal anything because I just don't have the inclination to write. I look at my journal and I like scowl at it. But I've got boxes of journals that I have written where I've got ideas written down in. I've got seminar notes in there. I've got thoughts, ideas, dreams, goals, all of that in there. And going back and reading some of those, it makes you realize just how far you actually have come. People turn around and mention about how strong somebody is, or to get through a trauma of some sort, or they've got, and people kind of like, some people will roll their eyes when I say I'm super fantastic and sparkling. They don't know the story behind the effort that it took to earn the right to say that I am super fantastic and sparkling, and to develop that attitude. That has come through many years of trials, of heartache, disappointments, and fighting my way through it all to get to be where I am today. And every day is a blessing. Every day I am thankful for every day. And I just am very blessed. I have a very blessed life. I was blessed with an amazing husband who kept me laughing, who kept me grounded, but gave me the freedom to fly. He always told me, he always referred to me as my anchor, because he always said, back. I said, no, sweetie. I said, you are my buoy. My buoy. Oh, those in New Zealand, Australia, boy. In New Zealand, we pronounce, when I first came to the States, I was like, buoy? What the hell's a buoy? And then I realized, oh, you mean the boy. Yes, got it. Okay. Just a little translation for my folks back home. But yeah, I said to him, I said, no, you're the buoy that has helped me, that keeps me grounded, but at the same time gives me the freedom to fly. So losing my buoy was a very hard thing to do, because I don't have that presence with me anymore to be able to, I would go and say, oh, I've had an idea. And Brad would roll his eyes and go, aha, like, oh crap, what's coming now? And I go, no, seriously. And he goes, do I need to, and then he'd learned over the years to ask, do I need to respond or do I just need to listen? And I go, not sure yet, but listen anyway. And so I would spell out this great idea that I had and everything else. And I said, think about it for a few minutes. I got to go pee, or I got to go get a drink of water, or whatever I had to go do. And then you got a couple of minutes to think about it, and I'll be back. And I'll go off, do whatever I had to do, come back, sit down, and then he would give me his thoughts. So I didn't immediately ask him for his thoughts straight away. I let him mull it over. So like, it wasn't a problem to be solved. It was just something I needed feedback on. So yeah, we had that worked down really, really good. I really miss those days where I could just walk out and plonk myself down on the couch and look at him and go, I've had an idea. And just to see the look on his face go, oh crap, here we go again. What wild, wonderful, wacky things has she come up with now? So I have been very blessed. I am very grateful. And that piece there reminded me of, looking back, when I've looked back at my journals in the past, just how far I have come, and some of the struggles I've been through, some of the mountains I have conquered. And some of the mountains weren't mountains at all. If you've ever heard Carrie Underwood's song, So Small, she says, sometimes those mountains you've been climbing are just a grain of sand. It's just that at that moment in time, it seems like a mountain, but it's just a tiny grain of sand. And that sort of like brings back the reality to things. And so today, go out there, be thankful for what you have, count your blessings, write your journals, write your gratitude journals, write down what you're grateful for every day, but do it in a way that you're celebrating the wins, you're celebrating the accomplishments of the day. Today I'm grateful that Zephy was here to distract me enough that I was able to get through writing something about Brad today, and posting it without having to to try and focus through all the sparkles of love that were flowing. There were some it's going to be a day of ups and downs, and that's totally fine. But I am unplugging for the day. I'm going to go and honor Brad. Last year I sat down, because I went back through my memories. Last year I sat down and watched the 3 extended versions of Lord of the Rings, like the whole trilogy, the extended version of Lord of the Rings trilogy. That was like over 12 hours. I started at like 9 o'clock in the morning, finished at 11:30 at night. You got to allow for breaks between the movies. Stop to get snacks, go to the bathroom, that sort of stuff. And that's one thing I love about DVDs, is I can pause it, go do what I need to do, come back and watch. I'm trying to think how to honor him today. Do I watch a Star Trek movie? Do I watch a Star Trek, Star Wars? Maybe I could do The Hobbit, but then I thought, no, hang on, I have the extended versions of those too, and that would have to be a trilogy watched. That would have to have a whole entire day set aside to do that, and that would be another 12 hours of viewing. And I really didn't feel like sitting through 12 hours. And I don't feel like watching one movie and then leaving the other two, because with The Hobbit, with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, they continue on after each other. So I may watch a Star Wars movie, I may watch a Star Trek movie, I may pull out the Twilight Zone. I may pull out the Twilight Zone series. Oh no, hang on, they're in a box in storage, because they're in that's a collector's edition thing. So that's in a box in storage. I have to go through my DVDs and pick out some of his favorite movies and maybe watch 1 or 2 of those today. But whatever you do today, remember to count the blessings as they, count the blessings. Look back over your day at the end of each day. Write it down. Be thankful for the wins that you had. Count the blessings that you encountered that day, and have a super fantastic sparkling day. And we will catch you guys later. Hei konara. Oh, put in the comments below what you're grateful for today. I would love to celebrate those moments of gratitude with you. Have a super fantastic sparkling day. Hei konara.